Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. So today's video is all going to be about how living with less can change your life. And this is what I have realized. So I really hope this video helps you guys out on that. Living with less can not only change your living space, but it also changes your mentality, it changes your wallet. I will talk about all this coming up. And if you do live with less, let me know down below what you had gotten rid of in your household or what you have gotten rid of period in order to live a comfortable lifestyle or a more comfortable lifestyle. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure to throw a thumbs up down below, and let's just get straight on into the video. So the first thing that I have realized with living with less is that I find that less clutter I have, the more time I have to do other tasks. So for instance, before when I had a lot of clutter in my bedroom, I would not want to clean. I would actually feel like cleaning would take me hours because I've had so much stuff that I would have to dust around each thing, and it was just, I felt like I had no time to do anything because my room was completely cluttered. And now that my house is less clutter, or clutter free I should say, I feel like I have time to do everything that I want to do. So if I want to go for a walk, I can go for a walk instead of cleaning up the living room or the kitchen or dusting, and because there's really not much to keep up with anymore. So I feel like I have more time to myself, and that is probably one of the best things when it comes to living with less, because I mean, how many people can say that they have time for what they want to do? Not many people can say that. So it's very precious. Our time, even with just each other, is extremely precious, and that's something that we all need to work on, whether it's for the new year. We all need to work on to have a little bit of extra time for ourselves. The next thing that I have noticed with living with less is that I stress less. I know I'm saying less a lot, but I feel like I don't stress out as much compared to when I had a lot of stuff. You know, with advertisements and with also celebrities, they constantly tell you the more stuff you have, the happier you're gonna be, which I find that kind of debatable, because I feel like the less stuff you have, the less stress you have. I remember having a ton of makeup and a ton of clothes, and I stressed out a lot with thinking, what am I gonna wear? What kind of makeup look am I gonna wear? You know, with this outfit. And I would just constantly stress out over the stupidest, littlest things, when all I had to do was figure out that decluttering majority of those things can cause my stress levels to go from here all the way down to here, because now my makeup looks are only 5 products I use, and my clothes are all clothes that I love, and I only think I own like 13 items of clothes. So owning less can help you stress less. Another thing that I have noticed is I create less waste. I'm being a little bit more environmental friendly, and I'm very cautious of what I throw out, what I purchase, and I literally spend less on garbage bags because I don't really throw out much. You know, I don't spend a dime on cleaning products. I will link that down below on how I only use DIY cleaning products. So I'm wasting less, and that is with me living with less. I figured out that while living this certain lifestyle, you're also helping the environment, which is amazing, because this is the only planet that we have to live on, and we should cherish it and take care of it as much as we can, because there's no plan B after this, you guys. So let's try to make it a better environment, not just for us, but for future generations to come. And I think with living with less, you're not wasting as much as you were with living with more things. Another thing that I noticed is a huge ungrateful thing that I can say is, with living with less, I saved so much money. I remember when I had my bedroom again, obviously I didn't live on my own. I lived on my own once when I was already a minimalist, so very thankful for knowing that before moving on my own. But when I lived with my mom, I spent majority of my checks on makeup and clothes and shoes and purses, and those were like bills basically. And it's so embarrassing to even say, but I think monthly I would spend a good $500 to $700 on all those things. So now that I do not have those expenses anymore, that $700 goes to either rent or gas and lights and stuff like that. So I'm also able to save more money because I'm not spending money on makeup anymore. Like I said, I only use 5 items for my face, and that's very rare. I usually wear makeup only when I'm filming or if I'm going out to eat or something like that. But living with less can definitely boost up your savings account, and I think that is one of the most amazing things ever. I never thought owning less things can help you save money. I am a true believer of that. If you decide to just declutter your bedroom and you declutter your makeup, your clothes, I'm pretty sure you will save a good, I want to say $100 to $200 a month, depending on how much you spend on those items. So now imagine going through your kitchen and decluttering the Tupperwares and the food that you do not eat but you bought because you thought you were gonna eat. So just imagine taking this whole experience to each room in your house, and imagine how much money you will save with just living with less of those items. Another thing that I've noticed with living with less is that I enjoy experiences more than I enjoy material items. Again, like I told you guys, it means a lot more when it comes to living with less, when you realize you can use that mentality outside of the house. So I feel like, for instance, for Christmas, my one of my sisters didn't know what to get me, and I constantly told everybody that I don't really need anything, especially for the house. I don't need nothing. So she actually got me a date night card for my boyfriend and I, and we were eventually gonna go to the movies and enjoy dinner, and I just think that is such an awesome experience. Rather than her getting me either a candle set or getting me a perfume set and something that I'm not gonna get use out of. I'd rather have an experience rather than things, and I kind of feel like I enjoy experiences 10 or 20 times more than receiving actual items. So just, you know, not just take, like with living with less in the house, take that with outside as well, and you will see a whole change in your environment, and you will see life differently, trust me. Another thing that I learned is alongside with having more time is that I picked up hobbies. Once when I started living with less, I ended up having more time to figure out what hobbies that I love, which is plants. I own about 10 to 12 plants, and that's one of my biggest hobbies. I help people at work grow their dying plants or bring them back to life. So that is one of the hobbies that I have. Another hobby is YouTube. I just love doing videos for you guys. I love helping you guys out with either budgeting or anything like that. And I also love talking to you guys. So I consider YouTube a hobby, not a job. And also my other hobby is writing. I love to either write notes down. I just love to write. I'm old-fashioned like that. Even though I'm 27, I just prefer to write than to type out. So I usually write down, like in a book, of what I'm gonna do tomorrow and stuff like that. So if I didn't live with less, or if I didn't learn how to live with less, I would never be able to pick up these hobbies, because I would feel stressed out or, you know, feel a certain way, not in how I feel now. Another thing with living with less that I have realized is focusing on myself, focusing on little key things that I want to either change for myself or I want to work on. So for instance, as of right now, I am kind of in the process of that. I want to learn Spanish, and I want to also read more books. So there's certain things that I want to focus on myself in order for me to accomplish other tasks. So I feel like if I wasn't able to have this lifestyle, I wouldn't be able to focus on myself, because I would be too focused on the items around me. I I think that my energy would be focused on things that weren't meant to be focused. I'm hoping that I'm making sense to you guys, because I don't really script any of these kind of videos, because I feel like I should just say what is on my mind. So I think the best thing that someone could do for themselves is to focus on themselves. And I think with nowadays, we tend to focus on what others think and what others want us to do. We never focus on what we like or what we like to do, and society makes it think that we are being selfish, but I think otherwise. I think that focusing on yourself is the way that we grow as a human being. And I think that we should take that into consideration more. I think they should honestly have that as a class in high school, because they teach us all these other things that they do not teach us on how to focus on ourselves. Another thing is feeling positive majority of the time. I used to be a very negative person. I used to think negative with each and every task every day. And obviously I'm not perfect. I do have negative thoughts, but I keep them to myself. I try my best not to put my negative thoughts on someone else anymore. And I just think positive, because tomorrow is not promised, especially with me working in a nursing home. One day they're alive, the next day they're gone, and it just, you take life into consideration with that. So with living with less, it actually taught me how to be positive. And I know it's gonna sound so weird to others, but I truly feel like the less you own, the less you are putting your energy towards other things, and you're putting your energy towards a little bit more positive things, such as, say it's raining outside. The old me would be like, great, now I can't do anything. Now I'm gonna have to just stay in bed all day and figure out something else to do. I would just be so aggravated when it rained. And now I think of it like this. It's raining out, that's awesome, because the plants need water. It hasn't rained in a couple days, so the plants outside need water in order for them to grow. And this is a perfect day for me to get house cleaning done or to focus on other things. So I do take every little task or every little thing now, every little thing that I'm doing. Even my family is always saying how much I've changed and how much of a different person I am. Even with people at work, they're constantly saying how I'm not the same person I was 6 years ago, and how of a breath of fresh air than I am now. Another thing that on how living with less changed my life is that I am organized to a T now. With owning less, you are able and capable of being a lot more organized than you were before. I feel like the more you own, the more in your head we are feeling like, I'm just gonna put this there because there's nowhere else to put it. And it just ends up looking like a disaster. I remember in my mom's house, I had, there was like a coat rack thing in back of my bedroom door, and it was filled with at least 40 to 50 purses, where you couldn't even close the door, and it didn't look organized. It was just a big glob of purses. And at night sometimes I would get scared because I would think it's a giant person in my room, but it was just all those purses. So owning less has helped me be 10 times more organized. But with my kitchen, I am so organized. When I got these mason jars, I'm down to the point where I recycle my cereal boxes and I put the cereal in the mason jars, and that's it. So everything seems a little bit of aesthetically pleasing now, not just to my eyes, but to people that actually walk in here. And last but not least, on how living with less changed my life, is that I finally understand the true value of life. Like I said before, with advertisements and stuff like that, they want you to think that owning this perfume is gonna change your entire day, and it's gonna make you get a husband and have kids. And the advertisements go above and beyond to try to manipulate you, and what they really need to do is kind of promote that material things are not going to make your life wonderful. It's not. And it's actually proven that it does not. You could be a millionaire and have a mansion and have 10 cars, and and you could still feel like you have nothing. So I think I understand the true value of life now, and I'm so happy that I learned it. Like you guys, a lot of you guys have saying that I learned it at a young age, and I'm so thankful and grateful that I have learned this part of life now that I'm 27, and you know, so I'm able to teach my kids this, my future kids. Material things cannot produce long-term happiness. So you have to understand the value of life in order to realize that. So anyways, you guys, I know this was a really long video, and I really hoped you understood my point of view with living with less. Or if you guys are trying your best to declutter one room, let me know down below on how's it going and what you minimize from your life in order to feel stressless and in order to just, I don't know, have a different intake on your life. And also, don't forget to throw a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. I know it's a little bit of chit-chatty video, but I did want to put this out there because I think that there's a very misconception on living with less is boring, which it's not, trust me. It's actually an amazing lifestyle, and I think everyone should at least try it once in their life. Obviously, I'm not going to push you guys to, you know, go vegan or be a minimalist, but I think that understanding that you can live without 10 palettes of eyeshadows, or understand that you can live without bulking up each item a month, you know, it's an awesome feeling to have a blank canvas and to create something a little bit more than having material items around you. So I'm gonna stop rambling because I can go on and on about this, because it just makes me so happy to understand this living alone or living with less like lifestyle. But I'm gonna leave you guys on that note before I go way overboard, and this video is already past the 30-minute mark, so I got a lot of editing to do. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.